had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire wrong. So then I'm doing IT, and when I go to plug the servers in, they become sentient, and they won't let us access our network unless we forward their chain emails and memes to more and more and more people, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant finds and invites best-fit candidates to apply, so you can discover talent you may have missed. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
British Spy Stories Season 5 Kill or Be Killed. Episode 29. One of the 3 butlers who work in the Chateau Froissart wheels in a trolley of drinks to the lounge. He pours Rose a gin and tonic and hands it to her on a silver tray, but she doesn't acknowledge him. As the man leaves, Rose can hear her phone vibrating from her evening bag on the sofa. She puts the device to her ear.
I was expecting you to report back before this.
Things take time, mademoiselle, says the man's voice down the line.
I pay you for speed.
The man ignores her statement. I found out what you wanted. Oliver Bailey is being set up. They've created fake documents to sell to him. His flat is bugged, and resources were sent in to search the place.
How did you find this out? You didn't risk being seen, I hope?
She says. You don't need to know.
I can't have you exposed. I need you inside MI5 for longer than just today.
Don't worry, mademoiselle.
Is Bailey completely unaware of the plans?
Of course, says the man. If he accepts the documents, they'll arrest him. What's your assessment of his strength to maintain silence during a custody interview? She doesn't need to consider the question.
He's weak. He'd do anything to avoid prison time. He'd talk, undoubtedly.
I need to go, says the man.
I'll send your money to your Swiss bank account,
she says, then ends the call and dials another number.
Elodie, we have a problem. Oliver's being tricked. Who'll buy? MI5 have set him up. He'll talk if arrested. I can't allow that.
Elodie, standing in the flat that she shares with Oliver, looks at the Thames and the lights of London. She knows what Rose is going to say, but finds herself asking anyway.
What do I need to do? You need to stop him, Elodie. Can't we just give him a new identity and fly him somewhere?
Elodie can feel her heart beat exactly twice before the answer comes.
You know the answer to that. I promised your father that I'd force you to grow up. It's your payment for what you did.
She hits the end call button as Hans appears in the doorway of the lounge. He pours himself a drink and walks towards her. You look worried, he says.
My security man hasn't turned up. His guards have, as you see. They're all over the estate now. But Antoine always travels with them, and he's nowhere to be found.
Hans is fully aware of Kate carrying out the kill order on Antoine Lambert earlier this afternoon. Did you call him? He says.
His assistant said he left from the south coast of France after breakfast. He should have been here hours ago. She lost touch with him. I had the techies in the basement track his mobile signal. He was here, very briefly, then went on a drive to the countryside for some reason, before his signal just stopped.
You've got his men, that's what you need though, isn't it? To protect your project in the cellars, whatever you're doing down there.
I've told you.
Her temper suddenly flares in the evening light.
It's not your business, Clive.
He holds out his hands in the air to calm her. Rose drinks her gin and watches his face. Then she wants to know more.
What were you doing in the basement yesterday?
She says. Looking for wine.
I think you're lying.
Why would I do that? Hans smiles at her, to try to get her off this line of thought.
Because you want to know what's going on?
If something is important to you, I like to understand it, sure.
Why don't I believe you?
She says. Because you've surrounded yourself with untrustworthy people in the past, and they've screwed you over. There's a moment when he wonders if he has displayed too much of the MI6 background briefing that he received about Rose. Information that he couldn't possibly have known any other way. If he has revealed too much, she's too in control to show that she's realized.
I don't really know anything about you,
she says, and walks right up to him. She's inches from his face.
I didn't run any background checks on you. Should I have done?
What's got into you?
He touches her arm,
but she remains aloof. I thought we were planning a life together. That news about your sister has spooked you, hasn't it? Not everyone is out to get you. Rose won't be diverted from her inquisition.
What happened to Imogen?
She says.
Did she just accept that you're with me now? It all seems too neat and tidy.
I was convenient for her, says Hans. She sleeps with people who meet her needs at any particular point in time. Then she moves on. He looks into Rose's eyes to see if he is making any headway, to shift her mindset. She drinks again.
I don't accept anyone being a traitor,
she says, then turns away from him.
Are you a traitor, Clive?
Look. He holds her free hand. I'm here for you, unconditionally. But Rose doesn't take her eyes off the trees at the far end of the lawn, as their tops sway in the evening breeze. The first thing Laravel notices, as she surfaces from unconsciousness, is the smell. A combination of oil and the stench of dampness from the hundreds of years of rainwater that have seeped in through the brickwork this far down, in the bowels of the earth below the Chateau Froissart. As the sleep washes away from her brain, she becomes aware of the pain in her body. Her hands are tied behind her back, and her legs are bound together, so tightly that the blood has stopped flowing in her right foot. She can't feel it at all in the pitch darkness, and the thought that her foot has been cut off passes through her mind before she rejects the idea. Her brain has a vague memory of being injected with something. Then she can't recall any more. There's a cloth pressing over her mouth, too. She's shoved up against a wall, and water has soaked into her jeans and her top. Laravel had attended a training course at RAF Bryce Norton about torture survival techniques. It taught her that it is the psychological effects of capture, incarceration and pain that account for over 80% of the damage that is done. As she lies in the darkness, she swears to herself to keep her mind alert and objective. Then she'll survive. Lastly, in the tour of her senses, she listens. There's only silence around her. Laravel starts to shuffle across the brickwork to find something to help her predicament. She moves towards the oil smell and, after 10 minutes of moving a centimetre at a time, her arm touches a hard bar rising up from the floor, and her best guess in the darkness is that this is one of the legs to the oil tank. She takes another 5 minutes to turn her body, so her hands are either side of the bar. Then she starts the long process of rubbing the binding tape on the corner of the leg. Laravel doesn't know how long the process takes. More than once her arms slip and push up against the hard steel of the leg. She can feel blood bubble out each time as her skin is cut. Her arms are burning with the pain of repetition, long before she feels the tape start to break. When her hands spring apart, her body falls over to the ground, and her breaths come in fast cycles as her face drops back into the water on the brick floor. This new position has allowed the blood to seep back into her foot, and the pins and needles prick at her tiredness for what seems like an hour until they die away. She's weak. She can feel it. She doesn't know how long she's been in this room, but she is hungry and thirsty. Even when she feels an animal of some sort scurry across her legs, she doesn't react. Laravel brings her arm around and pulls down the cloth from her eyes. But her sight reveals no more because of the pitch blackness engulfing her. She uses all of her residual energy to sit up and untie her feet, then tries to stand, but can't. The leg that went without blood seems to have no muscle control now. In the end, she goes down on all fours and plods across the floor in the hope that she'll reach a door of some kind. She can hear voices now, and along one strip of the blackness, a light appears. This must be the bottom of the door, and the light must be coming from outside. The light is faint, but it's all she has. She calls out, but no one answers. The light disappears again, and she slumps back against the door just before unconsciousness swarms back into her head.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event is on now with awesome deals on their most popular models, including adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe and Santa Fe Hybrid. There's also the stylish Elantra, packed with the latest tech, or go electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 6. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
By 9 p.m, Elodie has changed into jeans and a Chanel blouse. Oliver had messaged to say that he had a business meal straight after work, so she cooked herself salmon with jackfruit and watched an episode of Sex in the City to try and forget about her life for an hour. Since the call with Rose, Elodie has been quiet, her mind turning over how best to get through this evening and out of the other side. When she hears his key in the lock, her body tenses. He kisses her on the cheek and goes to the kitchen to make coffee.
You want one?
He calls.
Yeah, sure.
He goes to change as the machine does its work. Then he appears with 2 mugs of coffee and sits next to her on the sofa.
How was your day?
He says.
Busy. I'm tired.
He drinks.
Can you get my dressing gown from the bedroom?
She says.
I'm cold.
He walks out and she pushes her hand down the side of the seat cushion. In her fingers is a plastic bottle, and she unscrews the top and puts 3 drops of clear liquid into his coffee. Oliver brings the dressing gown and puts it across her knees.
I'm seeing that man with the document in the morning,
he says. He takes a sip of his coffee.
Then I meet the buyer at lunchtime,
he continues.
By this time tomorrow, we'll have 2 million in the bank. How do you want to spend it?
She says. She can't help a tear form in the corner of one eye.
We could go away, I thought. A world tour. I could chuck in my job and take a year off. They'd give it back to me next year, because I'm too valuable to them.
He looks at her and sees the tear.
What's up with you?
Women's things,
she says, as casually as she can. He squeezes her hand to comfort her.
Which countries would you want to visit?
He says. She can see he is happy and excited. Elodie can feel her jaw wanting to shake, but she holds her teeth tightly against each other until the feeling passes.
Brazil?
She says.
Yeah, and I fancy Korea and the Philippines. We could stay in Australia for a couple of months. I've got a mate out there on the Gold Coast. Surfing, sun, sex.
He drinks more coffee, and his eyes smile over the edge of the mug at her.
Have you enjoyed your life?
She says.
Yeah, I love it. You've made all the difference, you know. I don't think I was happy until I met you.
She puts her hand on his, and he turns to her.
We should get married. Make an honest man of me. In that church on the Upper East Side, where your ma and pa got married. They'd like that, wouldn't they?
Elodie has a smile in her eyes now, at the thought of it.
What do you say? Will you?
Yes, I will.
He kisses her on the lips.
I won't forget this moment, he says. You know, they say that, don't they? We'll look back when we're in our 90s, at the day when you accepted my offer of marriage.
She can't think of anything to say.
I'm feeling tired now too, he says. Let's have an early night. We both deserve it.
I love you, Oliver.
Me too,
he says.
I've waited so long for my big break, you know.
He smiles now.
Not bad. 33, and I'm a multimillionaire. It should have been 23, of course.
He takes a big breath out and rests his head on the cushions of the sofa and closes his eyes. All she can hear is his breathing as it marks out the seconds in the apartment. And gradually, his breaths get fainter.
I'm sorry,
she whispers. And a silence rolls in on the air. She sits in the failing light, alone with her wet eyes.
Hey, what did you say?
He's awake again.
Nothing. Sleep now.
He closes his eyes again. Elodie looks out of the window, and she can see the red and green lights of an aircraft hanging in the sky as the last pink rays of the sun fade across London. She closes her eyes too. Suddenly she's awake. The light has all gone. The night lies over the city, like death. Her fingers are still wrapped around Oliver's hand, and she can feel his coldness through her skin. She stands up, frightened about the next minutes ahead of her. Elodie grabs his arms and pulls Oliver across the floor towards the balcony doors. She slides back the glass and keeps dragging him. There are chairs out here, positioned to catch the sun in the morning. Elodie pulls him up onto one chair. That's near the railing. One last effort. Then this is over. She puts her arms under his and lifts him. His face is 1 inch from hers. That face that she has seen every day. She hangs his arms over the top of the railing, then moves to his feet and lifts them up. Her daily gym work has given her enough strength to lift him up high. His torso slides across the top of the railing. Then she's alone on the balcony. Elodie waits, listening but there's no sound of him hitting the concrete far below. After a minute, she turns back inside, goes to the bedroom, wipes the tears from her face, and pulls down a suitcase from the top of the wardrobe. She doesn't choose clothes carefully, and just wants to go now. Elodie finds her second phone in a drawer by the bed, powers it up, and calls a taxi under a false name. The screen says that the car's only 4 minutes away, so she digs around in the back of the wardrobe until she finds her brunette wig, pulls on her favourite coat and her Givenchy sunglasses, and wheels her case out to the front door. She promised herself that she wouldn't stop and look back, but her body has done it before she knows. The lights are off in the apartment. Only the city's brightness, through the balcony doors, illuminates the shadows before her. Elodie allows herself one sigh. Then she turns to leave. She shuts the door, pulls out her keys and unwinds the latch key before pushing it back into the letterbox. She hears it drop onto the bespoke oak flooring, then pushes the button to call the elevator. She hears his voice in her mind from the day they moved in. "It's called the bloody lift, Elodie. You're in England now." And smiles to herself. Outside on the road, the cab is already there. "Where to, love?" The man waits. "Miss?" Thoughts of the last 12 months with Oliver roll through her head one last time. Then she becomes aware of the driver looking at her in the rear-view mirror. "St. Pancras Station for the Eurostar, please." "Right you are," he says. The car pulls away from the curb, and this time, she doesn't look back.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. One of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. Mm-hmm. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.